Crucifixion is a method of capital punishment. It is the death penalty in which a victim is tied or nailed to a large wooden beam and left to hang until eventually dying of asphyxiation. One of the most severe methods of crucifixion was to put the arm straight above the head. The victim, this position can kill in 10 minutes to a half an hour. It's just impossible to breathe under those conditions. Someone who was nailed to the crucifix with their arms stretched out on either side could expect to live no more than 24 hours, making death a long and arduous process. 7-inch nails would be driven into the wrist that the bones there could support the weight of the body. The nail would sever the median nerve, which would cause immense pain and would paralyze the victim's hands. The feet were nailed on the upright part of the crucifix so that the knees were bent at about a 45-degree angle. Recent archaeologists have found the heel bone of a crucified man. They show that the 7-inch nail is actually going into the side of the heel so that the legs are up and the heel bones are nailed to the side of the cross. The executioners would sometimes break the legs of the victim so they have no chance of using their thigh muscles to support them. Even if they didn't, the muscles would give out in a matter of minutes. Once the leg gave out, the weight would be transferred to the arms, gradually dragging the shoulders out of their sockets, then the elbows, and then the wrists would follow. A few minutes later, the arms would be 6 or 7 inches longer. The victim would have no choice but to bear the weight in his chest, would immediately have trouble breathing as the weight caused his rib cage to lift up, forcing him into a perpetual state of inhalation. Suffocation would follow.
Paint the picture right.
In these last few moments, as Jesus could feel his life slipping away, his airway being cut off by the crushing pressure of an abuse of power and a show of force that did not match the presumed crime, somewhere in the asphyxiation before unconsciousness, brain damage, and death, Jesus called out the words, "Eli, Eli, lema sabachthani." My God, why have you forsaken me? With my limited understanding of biblical text, after reading this, I was led to believe that Jesus was at the end of his proverbial rope, that he was saying, "Really, God? Really? I thought I was your boy, and you do this to me? Is this really how it ends?" I realized that we all say the same things. Perhaps not in these exact words and maybe not in these exact set of circumstances, but we say stuff like, "Why me, God? Why you put this on me? Why I got to have the inconsiderate boss and the lying coworkers and the poor working conditions? Why, God? Why I got to have the abusive spouse and the wayward child and the rude and unnecessarily ghetto relatives? Why, God? Why is my money funny and my change strange? Lord, my credit is so bad they won't even take my cash. Why, God? Why is my physical health failing? My mental health crumbling? My emotional health a hot mess? My God, why have you forsaken me?" If this is what Jesus was communicating, woe is me, then that means Jesus